If you're worried about the direction of our country and want to help put her back on track, these are the 10 most important things you can do politically in 2024. These aren't in any particular order, but they generally get more involved the further down the list we go. First, get news from across the entire political spectrum. Read, listen to, and watch news that you normally wouldn't. The two-party system and the media organizations that back them are the cause of the division and polarization in our country. We are much closer than we think. Every news organization you listen to is biased on an issue-by-issue basis. Depending on what the issue is, they lie to you, they spin the truth, and they omit important information. If you listen to only those news sources all the time, you are not doing your duty to be an informed voter. You are merely a vessel for that news organization and its backers to push their agenda. An easy way to do it is to just search for news media bias, and one of the first sites that will come up is allsides.com. If you click on one of their graphs, it will show you all of the most commonly viewed news sources and will rank them from left-leaning to right-leaning. Just choose a group that you normally wouldn't listen to and just tune into them from time to time. Read their newspapers, listen to their blogs, listen to their commentators, read their opinion sections. In addition to being better informed on all the issues, it will also help you understand why other people think the way they do, which will allow you to reach them and maybe convince them that they're seeing an issue wrong or that they're missing a crucial piece of information. It will help you influence them if that's what you're really trying to do. We have enough polarization and division in our country, so be informed by listening to news from across the political spectrum. Second, vote on a candidate-by-candidate basis. If you're a person who believes that you belong to a single party and that anyone who is not in your political party is a bad person, or you vote Democrat or Republican straight down your ballot every time, that's a dead giveaway that you've been manipulated by the two-party system and the media organizations that are backing your party. The truth is that too many people on both sides of the aisle are compromised and they constantly flip on issues, and so does their party. So why are you blindly following them wherever they go? Don't be a flip-flopper like them. Research on a candidate-by-candidate basis and figure out what is most important to you, what your core beliefs and values are, and line those up with a candidate regardless of their political party. The other problem with voting one party down the ballot is that different government positions require different qualities of a candidate. Do you want your state representative to have the same qualities as your district attorney? Do you want your mayor to have the same qualities as your county sheriff? Do you want your state senator to have the same qualities as your state treasurer? I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just asking you to think more carefully about what you do when you get that ballot and you're filling in the ovals. Because what you're doing matters a lot. And the best way to ensure that candidates are in line with what you value the most is to vote for them on a candidate-by-candidate basis, not on a party-only basis. And that ties in with number 3, which is research all of the candidates running for office regardless of what they're running for. You can see now that it's more important than ever that we research every candidate who's running so that we know what they really stand for. See what they've done in the past, listen to them talk, read what they have on their website, try to figure out who they are and if that's what aligns with you. You probably spend hours every week listening to the news and scrolling through social media. So just reallocate a little bit of that time to sit down at your computer or sit down with your voter information guide and read what these people have to say. Go to their website, listen to them, and see who matches up most with your values and what you think needs to be done in our country. Number 4, push content. If a candidate really resonates with you, then share with as many family members, friends, neighbors, and colleagues as you can until they tell you to stop. If your candidate has never run for office before, or even if they have, if they're going up against an incumbent, they have a massive disadvantage. Your incumbent already has a huge base of support, and your candidate faces an almost impossibly steep hill to climb in order to win in a matter of just a few months. And if you don't help them push content, they are never going to get over that hill, nothing is going to change, and our country's decline will continue. So interact with their posts, watch them till the end, share them, subscribe to their channels, do whatever you can to help those social media company platforms understand that this candidate is important and you need to help get their content to as many people as possible. That's the only way that we can do it today. I'm new. I've started with no subscribers on all of my channels, and I'm doing my best to create as much quality and unique content as I can, and to put out a message that no other candidate in my race is putting out. If you know other candidates like that, help them, because that's the only way that we are going to take hold of office and turn this country around for the people. Number 5, donate to a campaign. If you can't afford to make ends meet, that's one thing. But if you can, and you're just really busy, at least donate to that candidate's campaign if they resonate with you. And here's why: because it is an investment. Here's an example. Our US representatives and senators make the budget for our federal government every single year. Every year since 2019, we've run a budget deficit of between $1 and $3 trillion. And even for the 10 years before that, we're running budget deficits between $450 billion and $1.4 trillion. If we had congressmen and women in place who would refuse to run those kind of budget deficits, we would not have a $34 trillion budget deficit right now. And the reason it affects you is because in 2024, just the interest payments on that $34 trillion is going to cost our taxpayers $1 trillion. That's $3,000 for every single American. If you have a family of 4, you are going to pay $12,000 to the federal government next year just so it can service the interest payments on the debt that it has racked up. So donate to candidates who won't be that irresponsible. Giving them $100 or $1,000 to take a seat away from an irresponsible congressman or congresswoman will save you money in the long term, and we're now just starting to realize how true that is. Number 6, volunteer in a campaign. If a candidate really resonates with you, then help them. You have skills they don't. You have experiences they don't. You have perspectives they don't. You have ideas they don't. You can see things they can't. You can work on things they can't. You can reach people they can't. You can help their campaign do so much more than they can alone. So volunteer your time and help push the candidates that you believe will help turn our country around. Number 7, volunteer in the election. Become a poll worker. Here in California, the only requirements are that you have to be 18 years old, a registered voter, and either a US citizen or permanent resident. And I'm bringing this up because I've talked to so many people from across the political spectrum here in the district that are concerned about election integrity. If you're concerned, volunteer, be there, and just watch and make sure that our elections are fair and safe. Number 8, call or write to your state representative or senator, your US rep or senator, your governor, whoever is in public office that you are concerned about what they're doing. Too many of them right now don't care about us, and they're working for their donors. And we need to let them know that we are watching them very carefully now. Look at the state of our state and our country. This is why we're in the position we're in. Every California representative and federal representative should be very uncomfortable right now. And if they're not, we need to make them uncomfortable, because look at what's happening in our country, in our state. It's time we put them on notice that we are going to start watching everything they do, what legislation they're drafting, what legislation they're pushing, and how they're voting. But also tell them what they're doing right. Give them positive feedback for the measures that they are trying to pass and push while they're in office. Number 9, attend public hearings. Whether it's a school board meeting, a city council meeting, a county board of supervisors, even going to your state assembly. Show up, be there, let the people know who are in office that you've put there, that you're watching them. Go up to them, introduce yourself, tell them things that you're concerned about, and give them positive feedback for the things that they are pushing that you support. It's our job to inform our representatives what is best for our district, for our state, for our country. And it's their job to take in all of that information from all of their voters, from all the people they represent, to do what's best for us. And if they disagree with us, then they need to convince us why we are wrong and they're right. And if they can't do that, then that's when it's time for us to step in and hold them accountable and get them out of office and put people in who will represent what we want them to do. And number 10, run for office. Whether it's for school board, city council, board of supervisors, state assembly or senate, or US rep or senator. do what you can. You know what you're capable of, and if you're cut out to be able to do something like that. If you believe that you can make a difference, then try to, because those are the kind of people who we need to be running right now. I've never run for office, but the candidate that I wanted to vote for was not running, so I'm trying to be that candidate. I don't know if I'm going to be successful, but I'm doing my best. That's why I'm here on the evening of New Year's Day recording this in my kitchen. I didn't take the day off. I spent the entire day writing this and putting it together and producing it, and I will spend the rest of my evening editing and posting this on all of the social media platforms, because that's all that I can do. And at some point, I hope that what I'm doing resonates with enough people that it will start to get out there, and that my campaign and that my candidacy will be able to make a difference. So these are the 10 most important things that you can do politically in 2024 to help turn our country around.